Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. Unbelievable, this archetype is getting more support. The B.E.S monsters, you know, these very old cards. I remember these cards from back in the day, like 2005-ish. Mostly, I'm honest, mostly these cards are in my crap binder. Let's be honest, but yeah, the new field spell, and the field spell is actually very good. It has multiple effects. Upon activation, you can search one of your boss rushes. A boss rush, which is a continuous spell from your deck, and add it to your hand. Also, all B.E.S monsters on the field will gain 500 attack and defense, and most importantly, your opponent cannot target them with the card effects, and also they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. So this new field spell kinda makes them like Majespecters, right? And you know, these B.E.S monsters all have that effect when they cannot be destroyed by a battle. Another effect of the field spell is that once per turn you can special summon one of your B.E.S monsters from your hand to the field, since you know they are pretty much all high level monsters. And then the last effect is that when any B.E.S monster or big core monster is normal special summoned, to place one counter on that monster. Since you know these B.E.S monsters do have counters on them, and when they don't have counters and battle they die, and so on, etc, etc. Boss Rush is a continuous spell that makes your B.E.S monsters float, so they your big ships, so it's kinda similar like Kozmo's. During the end phase, when a B.E.S monster is destroyed, you can special summon another ship from your deck and, yeah, of course, to the field. So, this is like Kozmo's, but it's not on the same power level of Kozmo's. You kinda need 3 cards, opposed to Kozmo's with only 1 card, right? Dark Destroyer is unaffected by etc, etc, it floats, but then you have the best ship, one of the best ships that cannot be destroyed by battle, but with the field spell they are unaffected by the opponent's card effects, cannot be destroyed, they cannot be targeted, and thanks to Boss Rush, they also float during the end phase. So, it's a cool deck, kinda anti-meta-like, but let's see a few example duels. Alright, first example, and this first example perfectly lets you see the added power this field spell gives to the new B.E.S cards. The opponent gets to start. He does have a decent start with, I believe, the strike and the force tricks as well, so he's pretty much set up for next turn. I do open with a field spell and a boss rush. Boss rush can be used multiple times, so let's say one ship is destroyed. You can special summon, if you have 2 boss rush on your side of the field, you can special summon 2 ships during the end phase. So that's a bummer that it's during the end phase. Anyway, so during the end phase, 1 ship was destroyed, and I have 2 boss rushes on my side of the field, so I can special summon 2 ships on my side of the field. So this is very nice, a very good situation. But I think I'm forced to use Strike here on his Revolution Falcon, since it can attack all special summon monsters from the opponent. But this kinda blows. He makes some nice series of plays, and eventually is able to end with Zero Fine. You know the card, detach 1 card and negate all face-up cards from the opponent. So my field spell will be negated, and most importantly, my boss rushes both will be negated. So that kinda blows. And on top of that, he does have Raigeki. Okay, wrecked. I lose both my monsters, and on top of it, he's able to go for that Zapdos, to go for Falcon. And I think I don't really have an out for that bar instant fusion into Utopia. And yeah, Pathfinder is pretty much the only level 4 that I'm playing. Instant Fusion is just one of here in the deck. It does open up access for Cyber Dragon Infinity with the Water B.E.S monster, but it also opens up access to Northern with Pathfinder, etc. You know, a possible rank 4 Exceed play, but I don't know, I'm probably going to drop it, since the way how this deck plays with the new field spell is very stunnish, anti-meta-ish, so you want to play a lot of back row, a lot of traps, floodgates like card, right? And yeah, because of that I was I lost the first game, but second game I get to start immediately Desires. Desires, I think, is just a stable at 3 in this deck. 2 new cards to work with, since again it's like an anti-meta deck, so getting 2 extra, at least getting the +1, the 2 extra cards to work with are definitely fine. The Earth one does pop back rows, so I'm going to pop one of his back rows. I hit the Strike, kinda useless due to the field spell, since again my best monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. Yeah, the bottom strap all again, not getting destroyed. Reading the spell does help. Anyway, to each their own. So eventually deal some nice damage during the end phase. Get the search the crystal core, which is the enemy controller. So you can like put one phase up attack position monster from your opponent to defense position. So special summon another ship, and just like with Kozmos, you don't really have to fear something bar the drowning mirror force, but in this case, I can just attack for a game. So next duel against ABCs. Meta deck I get to start. This is how you want to open your first turn with, like special summon one of the crystals and then set like 2 or 3 back rows. I do play one Starlight Road since every time the opponent has Twin Twister or Mass Destruction cards like Raigeki, doesn't really matter. You can just use a road to special summon the starters and protect your field spell, since again the field spell is so crucial in this deck. It opens up so many pluses and possibilities for this deck. Also one of the reasons why Pathfinder is in this deck as well. Attack over his Photon Question should be in a decent position since all of his ABC monsters are banished, so no immediate access to ABC Dragon Buster, but you know how it goes. If you're playing against ABCs, they rip Desires from the top of their deck, have the field, so you already had the field spell. Then he uses Eclipse and he has a gadget. Okay, he goes with Tsukuyomi, and thanks to Tsukuyomi is able to get the 3 ABC monsters in his grave, and there is the Dragon Buster. And you know the core monsters do get destroyed when no counters, so the starters does give me an extra draw thanks to Book of Eclipse, but the ABC Dragon Buster is so good. All the pluses and banishes you can do with the card is so fantastic. Again, he gets some nice pluses, but here I don't have a floodgate, no strike, no dimensional barrier, so I can't hold off a second copy of ABC Dragon Buster next turn. So here, at this moment, I already knew I pretty much lost the game. He does go for Castell to bounce back the field spell, so now he can target my ships if he wants to. He attacks over my monster, it gets destroyed indeed, and I just scoop it up, since again this deck isn't that good at top decking, and yeah, no reason to play it through, just not to want to waste time. Okay, the opponent gets to start, that's a good start. He does have the field spell and 3 back rows, so multiple strikes, dimensional barrier, etc, etc. But the good thing is that dimensional barrier isn't really too good against this deck, since you rarely use the extra deck rights or bar instant fusion. Of course, no pendulum summon, so attack over his monster. My monster again is unaffected by the opponent's card effects, cannot be destroyed, and boss rush is on the field, so just in case if the monster is destroyed, I can float into another ship during the end phase. Kinda sucks that it's during the end phase, makes it kinda slow. The Kozmo ships do immediately, like, if a Dark Destroyer is destroyed, you can immediately special summon a monster, and boss rush, needs time. Anyway, 2 monsters on my side of the field, 2 beat sticks, so attack over his monsters. I'm in a very good position, again have Maxi for the draw engine, and again to possibly hold him off, prevent him from establishing a field, since that's one of the biggest weaknesses of this deck, is to deal with established fields. So Raigeki is an option, Swords of Concealing Light, and Dark Hole as well, but yeah, again, you want to run a lot of traps. The Storming, maybe the Mirror Force, Storming Mirror Force, the Earth Mirror Force is also an option, maybe Drowning Mirror Force as well. But yeah, a lot of traps. Anyway, use Raigeki, and Raigeki does win me the game here, getting rid of his monsters. Maxi for the 1/1, I believe. Not sure, I don't think I can get a +1 out of this, but eventually, thanks to Raigeki, I can attack for a game. So the extra special summon for the B.E.S crystal and attack with everything for a GG well played. So last tool. And I think I get to start. So immediately, normal summon Pathfinder to fight, to search the field spell. Small downside is that boss rush, you know the spell that you can search out of your field spell, does prevent normal summons, so I can't activate my boss rush for now, so I have to wait a turn. So that's probably one of the reasons why you really don't want to run any monsters that are, that need the normal summon. So I'm possibly going to try out the Zodiac Beasts as well, since you know they're the Zodiac Triangle, Special Summon, etc, etc. So the I think it's kind of good with the best monsters as well. Well, with every deck, right? So use Instant Fusion, there is a Dimensional Barrier. So that's probably one of the reasons why I'm probably going to cut the Instant Fusion, since again, Maxi from the opponent, or Dimensional Barrier, or Strike, or whatever. Cards that aren't really too great against the best monsters. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I again have an established field. I have 3 boss rushes ready, so if the opponent is able to destroy one best monster, it will float into 3 other best monsters from the deck, and the Raigeki again is probably going to clean the board, and then I can just attack for a game. So this is going to be the deck list. Feel free to leave opinions, suggestions. This is more like an anti-meta deck for now with this new field spell. I'm probably going to try the Zodiac Beast as well, since that will definitely increase the power level of this deck. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.